Hey, today I am here to do my October TBR game thing. I am changing it up a little bit. Also, I finally have few enough books in my fall TBR to be able to line them up like this, which is going to be so much easier when I go to pick them out of the lineup. Really handy dandy. First thing I'm gonna do is, last time I just stuck my Kindle wherever, I'm pretty sure, but this time I feel like kind of randomizing a number and putting it in. So I have 25 books here. I am filming this actually before I film. Sorry there's nothing going on here while I'm talking, but I'm filming this before I film my September reading wrap up, but that's only because I know that the books from my September TBR, like, I know which ones are not going to get read for sure, so I added those in here. But I do have two. I have Bridgerton, The Duke and I, and White Crow. Bridgerton was on my September TBR, and White Crow was on my fall TBR, but I pulled it for a reading vlog that I'm doing. Anywho, those are not going to go in the lineup because I have 3 days left in the month, and if these don't get finished, they're just going to automatically roll into October. Anywho, we're going to randomize a number. So I have my Pretty Random app. I did it on Google last time, but then I realized I have the Pretty Random app. So I have the numbers 1 through 25 on here for possible spaces because I have 25 books. I guess I should have gone with 1 through 26 because this will be the 26th. So technically I could roll a 26 and put it at the very end. So let me change that. Why is it at 28? Why is it? I don't know why it's at 28. I definitely put in 25. Let me put in 26. Okay. Just making sure it actually worked that time. Okay. Randomize a number 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll go right here. Hopefully there's enough space. Just shove that in there. The knobs on my dresser are kind of acting as bookends, so that's not going to go in all the way, but it'll be fine. So I'm planning on doing 8 rolls again, but we'll see. I'm going to start with 6, and if things are going well, I'll go up to 8 because I'm adding in a new feature. Last time I literally just randomized numbers and pulled whatever I got, but I wanted to make it a little more fun, so I have this bin of prompts, and there's not a lot in there. It's just literally whatever I could think of off the top of my head the other day. So I have some prompts in here. Some of them are like really challenging. Some of them are actually gonna help me out. They're not all reading prompts, but you'll see. But my plan is that every time I get a prime number, I am going to pull a prompt. Since I'm not using dice, I can't do like the doubles thing. But that gives me, I feel like, more chances to pull a prompt. But that's why I'm starting with 6 rolls. Because we'll see how it goes. Also, one of these books will definitely be done by the end of the month. Probably Bridgerton, because I'm more than halfway through. So once I finish Bridgerton, I will have completed my 10 books for the month. So I don't need to add a roll. So that's good. I'll kind of explain more stuff when we do the face-to-face situation. Right now, let's just figure out what books we're reading in October. Okay, so 1 through 26. 12. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. So we've got The Arrival of Missives by Elia Whitley, or Whitley, I'm not really sure. We got that. Also, we can kind of push that in now. Also, the Fear Street book, I counted that as 2 last time. I'm just going to count it as 1 this time. It'll count as 2 books finished on my TBR if I finish both of them. I hope that makes sense. And then this book right here is actually a book of 3 short stories. So if I roll this, what's really happening is I'm rolling in a book on KU. That's the first in the series, and then I'll read the first short story that goes with the first book. Hopefully that makes sense. So, next number, 9. 3. Oh, I should change the numbers as I go, shouldn't I? But it's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got The Sea Queen by Linnea Hartsoiker. I really like this cover though. It's really cool looking. I'm not going to change the numbers. I'm not going to change the numbers because I feel like if I keep the number at the higher number, I'll have a better likelihood of getting numbers that are that high, and I'll change it if I get a number that's not on there anymore. That's probably doesn't make a ton of sense, but we're doing it. 3, cool. We got Lightlark by Alex Astor. Wait a second. I got 2, no, I got 1 prime number and a second one right now. Okay, so we're gonna pull a little prompty prompt for that last one, for the 3. Let's see here. What did we get? Free pick. Cool. I want to pick something off of this lineup because I think that'll be the best option. Also, actually, not also, I meant actually. I'm going to pick Skein Island. This was on my September TBR, but it sounded really intriguing and it's not too long, so we're going to pick that for the challenge. And then we got a 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're getting all those Dollar Tree books. Look at that. We got When All Light Fails by Randall Silvis. And then 7 is a prime number, so we're pulling a prompt. Let me get rollover unread books from previous TBR. Okay. So these 3 are getting rolled over. Well, I did not expect to get that one right away. Okay, so we've got Pure Nessie, Zodiac Academy, The Awakening, and Through the Dark, which is actually rolling in, let me see, what is it? The Darkest Minds, which is on KU. So I'll be rolling in The Darkest Minds on KU, and then I'll read the first short story in this book to accompany that. Okay, well, that was fun. I need to keep track of how many rolls we did, so. Okay, we are on roll number 5. 16, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we got My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. Okay, we're on roll number 6, but I am going to change the numbers. I'm going to move it to 17 because we have far fewer books now, so it doesn't make sense just to keep it the same number. Probably didn't make sense in the first place, but I am going to change it now. So, roll number 6. 16. Okay. So we got the second Bridgerton book, The Viscount Who Loved Me. Okay, I think I'm gonna go to 8 because my goal is gonna be to read at least 50% of my TBR, and I know I have 10 books on it right now, and I know I can read more than 5 books in a month, especially in October because I'm gonna have a little bit more time. So I'm gonna do 2 more rolls. So 9. Okay, we got Betrayed, but I think that this is the second book in the series. Yes, Marked is the first one. So we're going to add this, and then if we don't get Marked, we'll add Marked too. Okay, roll number 8. Is a 4. Okay, so looks like we are adding in Marked. We've got Eliza Starts a Rumor by Jane L. Rawson. We got almost all of the Dollar Tree books that I had left on this TBR. That's so funny. The universe really wants me to read them. So that is number 8. And then we've got a little honorable mention here, because that is the first book. So we have 13 books on our TBR. Okay. I may have gone a little bit overboard. I probably shouldn't have done those last 2 rolls, because I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I have library books out that I want to read before I have to return them and get back in line. So it's fine. It's fine, because of the way I'm going to do determining how many books on my TBR I've read. I have some rules that I will share with you, and it will allow for me to read books that are not on my TBR technically and still get points towards books on my TBR that I've read. Or like, this will make more sense when I explain it. I'm scatterbrained. Anywho, let me share the books that are on the TBR first. So these may or may not be on the TBR. It just depends on whether or not I'm able to read them by the end of the month. I am going to try my darndest to read Bridgerton by the end of the month. Honestly, I don't even think I'll have to try my darndest. I've got 3 days. I can finish it. It's fine. White Crow, honestly, probably will not get done by the end of September. So we're going to be saying that that's on the TBR. Because I've already started it and it's part of a reading vlog, so I can't abandon it. So I've got those. Okay, roll number 1, we got The Arrival of Missives by Elia Whiteley. I'm just gonna say Whiteley because I don't know if it's Whiteley or Whitley. I'm really not sure what this is about. This is one of those Dollar Tree books that I bought kind of on a whim because I planned on doing a Dollar Tree reading vlog, and then I just didn't have time to film it. And the 2 books that I did read for it were just okay. So I wasn't really sure how fun that would be to watch, but it sure was fun to buy them. It's just really fun. Like, even if it's a book that's okay, just okay, like I didn't hate either of the books. It was still fun to read them because, I don't know, I enjoyed them enough to not regret the $1 I paid for them. Does that make sense? And then it's just kind of fun buying books based on the covers when you're only paying $1 for them. Is just fun. Anyway, so this is one of those books. I'm not sure what it's about. Something about the aftermath of a war. It's a relatively short one. How many pages is this? Okay, I don't need to know about all of that. 171 pages. So I should be able to get through this pretty quick. Happy about that. Roll number 2, we got The Sea Queen, which again is another one of those impulse Dollar Tree purchases. I kind of want to go back and see if they have any more. Just because it was just so fun. And I do plan on reading them. I've read 2 of them already. And the one that I chose to put on here, I am actually really intrigued by. But yeah, I don't know what this is about either. Something about Vikings, which, I mean, I feel like the cover tells you. So we're gonna be reading that. This one is a little chunkier, but this one has 444 pages. So we've got that one. We have Lightlark, which is this is for roll number 3. This is actually a rollover from last month. And I don't know. I'm interested enough in reading it. So yeah, I think everybody knows what Lightlark is about at this point. It's about some like battle to the death. These realms come together once every 100 years or something for a battle royale to try and break a curse that they're all under, something like that. So we're going to read that. And with that, I got a prompt, and the prompt was free pick. So I picked Skein Island by Elia Whiteley. Oh, that's by the same author. Oh, same author. I did not even notice. So also Elia Whiteley, and this one actually sounds really intriguing. This has something to do with, I don't know. I think it's going to be like maybe a thriller. I think it's a thriller. Something to do with an island that only women are permitted to live on, and women are like invited to go there for a week at a time and free of charge, and the only thing that they have to do is tell their life story, which then gets recorded and put into a library or something like that. And the main character suspects that her mother's time on this island had something to do with her disappearance, either her disappearance or her death. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But and then she gets invited very mysteriously. So I'm intrigued. The next roll we got, and that's also one of the Dollar Tree ones. And roll number 4, we got another Dollar Tree one. I just think it's so funny that the universe clearly wants me to read all these Dollar Tree books. This is When All Light Fails by Randall Silvis, and I think that this is a thriller also. A chilly suspense novel, says the New York Times. A Ryan DeMarco mystery. I need to check and make sure this is not part of a series. I don't know if it is or not. I don't know. And I don't know what it's about, but I'm pretty sure it's a thriller. So, thrill me, please. And then with that, I got another prompt, which was to roll over all of the unread books from my previous monthly TBR, since I'm pulling all of these from my seasonal TBR. I had 3 books that had not already been read or already rolled in. So, we've got Pure Nessie by Susanna Clark, and this one I think is like a magical realism. I did read the first chapter of all of my books in my September TBR for a reading vlog to choose my next read, so I have read the first chapter of this one. And it seems very interesting. It's like a magical realism where there's only 2 people that live in the entire world, and the entire world is this like magical house that has like never-ending corridors and rooms. There's an ocean inside the house. There's different ecosystems. It's very interesting sounding, and I can't wait to hear more. The next one that is rolling over from my other TBR is Zodiac Academy by Carolyn Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. And to be honest, when I read the first chapter of this, I was not, like, I didn't care. The first chapter told me absolutely nothing. Really. Aside from there's, you know, we're following twins that just aged out of the foster care system. That is all I know. I do know that there's supposed to be vampires in here, but so far that's all I know. And then the third one from that prompt that's being rolled in is Through the Dark, which actually I did not realize this until after I put it in my TBR last month, but it is a like bind up of 3 short stories which actually follow another series that this author wrote. So there's a trilogy of books, and each of the short stories in here follows one of the books in the trilogy. So I need to read the first book, which is on KU. Fortunately for me, I was going to get it from Libby, but they didn't actually have it. I thought they did, but I was tricked. But they have it on KU. So that book is actually what I'm rolling in, which is like The Dark something. Where did I put my phone? Oh, there it is. What is it called? The Darkest Minds. Pretty sure that's what the first book is called. The Darkest Minds. And then, so I'm going to read that on KU, and then I'll read the first short story in here. And then that'll just count as one book. but whenever I get around to reading all 3 of these, this will count as another book. Hopefully that makes sense. This won't get done this month though. There's no way. Okay. Roll number 5 was My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. And this is actually a book that my husband bought, but I'm definitely intrigued to read it. It's not too long either, so 332 pages. And perfect for spooky season. I love this cover that looks so 80s. It just looks so cool. I love it. Okay. Next on the list, roll number 6, I got Bridgerton, The Viscount Who Loved Me, which is awesome because I'm going to be finishing the first one this month in the next couple days. So, I'll read the second one. Honestly, I just want to get to the books that haven't been made into shows yet. Because I feel like I'll enjoy the books more if I haven't seen the show adaptation. That is my theory. So I do want to read this so that I can get to that point. Ooh. Roll number 7, we got Betrayed by PC Cast and Kristen Cast. And this is actually the second book in the series. I have the first 2 books. So we got the second one on roll number 7. This is like a vampire book, I think. I think this is about vampires. These were popular when I was in high school, but I never read them. My best friend in high school, I remember she read them, but I never did. But she tried to get me to read them at one point, but I just was not super into reading in high school, so I didn't get to it. But I own them now. And then roll number 8 was Eliza Starts a Rumor by Jane L. Rawson. This is another one of the Dollar Tree books, and I now have, of the ones I have not read yet, all but one on this TBR. And I think that's just so funny. I don't actually know what kind of book this is. Okay, interesting. A smart, engaging treat for Big Little Lies fans. I have not read the book, but I have seen a good bit of the show. So that's interesting. That does intrigue me. So, yeah, I still don't know what you would categorize this as, but a group of women that share a secret. I don't know what that'd be called, but there's that. And then because I rolled in the second book in a series, I went ahead and put in the first one in the series onto my TBR because I didn't end up getting this in a roll, but I need to read this before I can read the second one, and the second one's in my TBR. So only makes sense, right? Only makes sense. So let's see how many books we've got here. 1, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, yes, 14 books on this TBR. So I need to read at least 7 books in the month of October in order to avoid adding a roll, which would mean that in November I would have, if I didn't read 7 books or more, I would have to I would have to do a 9th roll. So I think I am going to stick to 8 just because I like having options for what to read, and I only am making myself read 50% of my TBR. So I think I'm going to stick to 8 rolls. I think that's a good number for me, even with getting like the prompts and stuff. So in October, I need to read at least 7 books. And this is kind of where that like points thing comes in. It's not really points, but like hopefully this makes sense. So any book that I read off of my monthly TBR for that month will count as 1 book read, obviously. Any book that I read that is not on my monthly TBR will count as half a book read, because I feel like if I don't count it at all, like if I only count the books that are specifically on my TBR, then I know myself well enough to know that I'm going to be discouraged from reading anything else that's not on my TBR. And I don't want to do that because I do want to read my library books, and I am doing a reading vlog thing right now where it's not guaranteed that I'm going to get a book that's on my, like I'm going to be able to fit in a book that's on my TBR. And I don't want to hold off on doing that because I'm not going to get a point for my books read for the month. So if it's not on if it's not on either one of my TBRs, I get half a point. If it is on one of my TBRs, even my seasonal one, I'll get a full point. But I will be focusing on my monthly TBR. Hopefully that makes sense. Yes. Yeah, I don't really know how else to explain that. So, and it's just, we're just trying things out. We're trying things out because I am new, pretty new to doing TBRs in the first place. But I think that this past month is the first time I've ever actually stuck to one. So we're just trying to see how things work, right? We're just trying things out. Anyway, hopefully that all made sense. And hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.